Hello, nomads, and welcome to episode.
You jumped the gun.
Oh, sorry. Can I go now?
Rewind it back.
Womp, 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 womp.
Do it.
Hello, nomads, and welcome to episode 133 of the Nomads of Fantasy podcast. My name is Brandon, and I welcome you to the deep seas of Japan to be talking Godzilla Minus One. But I'm not alone on my ship. I'm also here with Dave.
The next battle is not one waged to the death, but a battle to live for the future. Womp, 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 womp.
And Eric.
I'm someone who wasn't supposed to live.
A surprisingly sad story in this Godzilla movie.
There's a lot of heavy shit.
Definitely. And it was a different kind of kaiju Godzilla movie, which I'm excited to talk about and dig into a little bit. A little more meat on the bones, a lot more character stuff to discuss. So,
yeah, why don't you? Do you get the facts about this movie in front of you? Who directed it, budget, and when it came out in front of you?
Sure, Dave does.
He's the
stats guy.
And then we can get into our reaction of this movie, because it had a lot of buzz to it, and it just came to Netflix. So we thought, hey, this might be a good time to chew on this one with everybody as we're all kind of going through and experiencing this movie. And it's nice to see Japan's Godzilla do so well that even in America we're watching it, because I feel like we always watch our own.
It's not the one
right,
with
we have
Daddy or
Americanized.
Brian Cranston,
Matthew
Right.
Broderick in the 90s.
Yeah, that was a rough one. That was the Puff Daddy one. Yes, I do have some facts here, and pardon me for any pronunciations of everything, because
disclaimer.
I'm going to butcher some names. Yes, directed by Takashi Yamazaki, written by him as well. This came out in October of 2023, running about 2 hours, made on a budget of, seems kind of shocking, but $10 to $12 million. That's it for the amount of CG that's in this movie. That's fucking super.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah,
CG prices are going down.
And it went, I think, past $100 million in the box office.
115, it says box office, but
okay,
who knows what they spent on
very
marketing
successful.
and all sorts of other stuff. And
Take it with a grain of salt. But honestly, speaking of marketing, I feel like this movie, I didn't see any marketing about it before it came out. I just remember when it came out in theaters last year, there was a buzz. People are talking about Godzilla Minus One. I'm like, I feel like I haven't really heard about a Godzilla movie much, like in the popular zeitgeist of, film culture recently. Like the last one I remember was, I think, the Bryan Cranston one in 2016. I mean, I know I heard Shin Godzilla is pretty good. That's like another Japanese version of Godzilla, which came out a few years back. But this is the first one in a while that's like broken through pop culture, and like were talking about it when it came out. I feel like that's one of the first big movies in recent memory that people were like, wow, you got to go to the theaters to see this one, because it's really good.
have you seen a lot of have either of you guys seen a lot of Godzilla movies?
when I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't have
a
huge history with Godzilla. I played like the Game Boy game when I was a kid, but I never really watched any like the original ones from like the 50s, 60s or anything like that.
Those were always on TV, because growing up in the 80s, 90s or whatever, like whatever channels you got were just on it. And I just remember like some Saturday or Sunday afternoon, like on one of those weird UHF or VHF channels, there was just some fucking Godzilla movie on. It's a dude walking around in a costume, kicking buildings and shit like that.
I remember like one of them had Godzilla and a child, and like Godzilla had a baby. Godzilla.
I do remember that one. Yeah,
a Babyzilla.
Super dumb movie.
Sure
but at the time, as a kid, I was like, I remember liking it.
Yeah, most of the stuff
Yeah,
I
they're
know
old,
about
man.
most of the stuff I know about Godzilla is through either video games, because there have been
Pop culture.
a good amount of Godzilla video games, and just through pop culture. And like, there's some popular like Godzilla villains like Mothra,
they've got the
three-headed Hydra dude.
The Kong, what do they call? I don't know what universe they call it, the monster universe.
The monster
or whatever.
universe, something like that.
Yeah,
Godzilla, Kong, and they've got a couple of those ones coming out. I don't know. It seems like they've been getting pretty popular here, but I don't think the American ones have a much different tone to them, where they're more, I don't know. I don't want to say action oriented, but like dramatic. I don't know. Because I never really saw many of the old ones, and then watching this one had some serious subjects going on. Like, it had a pretty long runtime, and I thought it was a little.
I was thinking about that, Dave, the whole time. Like, what is it about this that I can see why it's awesome? It has a genuine story, but like, why can't Hollywood figure this out? Like, why can't they get? And it's not just because it's from Japan. But we could do better, I think, of a story, because I never care.
Did you guys see the 2016
people in the
Godzilla?
Yeah, I got like half hour into it, and I think I turned it off.
Okay,
I think I fell asleep about halfway through.
Yeah,
they tried to do a similar thing to this one, where they focused on people, the people on the ground first, building these characters, and then I remember, but they did a not a good job with the characters, for one, and contrasting with this movie. Usually, I like when they don't show the monster until later in the movie, but in the 2016 Godzilla, they waited way too long to show Godzilla, and they didn't show enough of him. So this movie in particular had the perfect balance of fuck, oh shit, here's Godzilla, but then also he goes away for a while and we focus on the characters, and then oh shit, he's back to fuck shit up again.
You know what this movie reminded me of? Jaws. I was like, I couldn't get out of my
Jaws
head.
Comparisons.
It's just like it just starts off where he's a menace, and this is like you have these people trying to deal with something. There's a relatable story. I kind of actually want to take my comment back. I actually feel like maybe this is why Japan is good at doing this story, because this is coming right off the heels of losing to in World War II, right? A defeated country, and then instantly dealing with Godzilla attacking, just the heart and soul of just what was going on. I think they really, like you were talking about tone or whatever, they got the tone right in this. It felt like it took place in the 40s, and it felt like a very sad, defeated group of people. I mean, just looking at the setting, all the buildings are destroyed, and they're dealing with fucking Godzilla and sweeping mines and shit. And you got to come home, and little by little, they're rebuilding their town and their village and their houses, and then they're having everything over. They use the setting very well, and I guess because Japan went through a real fucking war, they were definitely devastated in certain regions. So for them to paint that, it's like you couldn't shake that off. And then just that story compared, and then with this monster that's just constantly menacing them like a shark, like in Jaws. I was like, throughout the whole time, even the way he dies, it kind of is the same way.
Yeah, it's a good point about World War II, because Godzilla has always been a metaphor for the harm like that radiation and the war caused in Japan and all this stuff. But I feel like this movie took it to that other level, because in the framing of it, because in the original Godzilla's, the time frame was after World War II, like a decade after it. I think the original Godzilla, it was made in the 50s and took place in the 50s, but this one they took it back a little bit to post World War II, right after everybody got home from the war. Everybody, they come home. Their families are all dead. They have nothing to come home to. Their homes are destroyed. And then, you have this other threat that's, looming over you. And it really highlights the resilience of the Japanese people as well, banding together to, take on this force, which again goes back to the Jaws comparison there. So. Yeah.
The beginning of the movie, I watched it again a little bit. I was watching it with the 7-year-old, showing him Godzilla just fuck up cities. just because it's fucking intense.
Cool.
It's some
Super
pretty cool CG. But he shows up in the first like 2 minutes of the movie, which I thought was super awesome. And he reminded me, in that first scene, he was like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, just like uncontrolled, like he's just going through and just like grabbing people and just fucking chucking them in the air, and you know, he's just a curious little guy coming up on shore, coming to check things out. And
what I loved about the first time they showed Godzilla in this movie is it was all shot from the perspective of the ground. You know, the camera was on the ground. There weren't these high sweeping shots showing Godzilla towering over everybody. It was the camera looking up at him, which made him seem even more menacing.
Until he's in the airplane, and then you get that.
Exactly.
Which, Eric, I'm glad you said that, because this is something I thought I've never seen this pulled off in a movie before. A balance of land, air, and sea storytelling. I don't know. Like, and a war movie can do this for sure, but this movie just captured like us being on the ground where all the people are, but we're also like totally like exposed. Like, how do we get away from this giant monster? But then we're out in the water, you know, either sweeping the mines or like trying to take out Godzilla, and just all that storytelling. And then finally to build up to the sky story where he's finally in the air. And it's just like that whole experience. I just love how this movie, like a video game, sometimes there's like the water
like a Star
level,
Wars movie.
Or Star Wars.
Yeah,
Star Wars, they always have a space battle and a ground battle going on at the same time that they're just cutting between.
Oh yeah.
You got it. Yeah. So that's something I noticed in this movie. I think this movie just did a lot of things right. And it's not just one specific thing. I think it's
not just a monster movie either, which is the thing too, which I thought kind of what separated, I don't know, I'm guessing separates it from the other Godzilla movies, but something I didn't really expect is the humanization, you know, really caring about the people that are on the ground or whatever, but it's dealing with like national pride because he's getting ridiculed for not being a kamikaze pilot, and that kind of plays into the end of the movie where you see the symbolism, you know, how he lives and all that stuff. But PTSD of his first encounter with Godzilla, like there's a couple different scenes of that, and some of those, I don't know, some of those slower parts in the middle, I was like, oh, they just get back to the goddamn monster. I want to see more buildings get destroyed. So I could have dealt with a little less of the slower parts.
I didn't mind it just because you know, we did get so much of that character stuff. You like in the middle there, you almost forget, which I kind of like. You almost forget that it's a Godzilla movie, and you're it's taken back to a different movie.
It's not like all hands on deck. It's like America and Russia are aware that we're dealing with a monster, but they don't want to. They're dealing with their own war right now, and like. So that's like what the beginning of the Cold War going on over there, and Japan like, they can't get help, so they have to do their own thing. But you also have to like rebuild fucking your cities because you just got through World War II, you know, and the economy's destroyed. Like it was, But Dave, like the slow parts had the background was like kind of storytelling a little bit because you like it was just to see like, oh wow, they finally like got like their walls up and they have the core over, or they have.
I did like to see the progression from like a shack to like a little house to like an actual, like, you know, he's clearing mines for a living and, you know, making some good money. But
which is symbolic to the cities that are fucking getting destroyed, and they're gonna have to do it all over again, build it.
It's like 3 or 4 years, I think, because it takes place. It starts in 45, and I think they're ending it in like 48, maybe.
They flash up the years a couple of times.
You can tell by the baby. Akito or Akira.
Akiko.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the main theme of this is obviously Shikishima, which is the main character, dealing with his survivor's guilt in like 3 different ways. One, because he started out as a kamikaze pilot, but then he kind of, you know, defected, ditched, and decided he was too scared to do it. He pussied out.
It's a very relatable thing.
Oh yeah,
like, especially at the end of the war, and this guy's still being sent to do it, and it's just
the mechanic Tachibana even said like, "Hey, I'm on your side. I'm with you. Like, what's the point of dying? the end of the war is already here. So what's the point of dying? Like he was like, yeah, I checked your plane. There's nothing wrong with it. So he knew what was going on right from the start, but he was on.
I didn't like how
the whole time.
He blamed was it
Shikishima, yeah.
He blamed him for like everybody dying there. Like obviously that his little 20mm bullet is not gonna kill Godzilla. Like you can't.
But he didn't know that at the time. He just sees it as a coward. Like he already knew he was a coward.
Exactly.
He already disobeyed his orders, which was to kamikaze.
He's not.
He didn't do that. So he's like, even though it's like I get it, but he still sees like it's just frowned upon socially. He's a fucking mechanic.
But which brings into some of the patriotism, because like there's a lot of do it for your country, like fucking
right.
Fucking, I don't care what the odds are. We're gonna fucking go and do this, and we're gonna get this shit done.
Especially Japanese culture and just their history. If you look back at like the samurai code, if you don't die on the battlefield, then you don't die honorably. So like if the samurai were in a bind and they get captured or whatever, they're supposed to kill themselves. So it's like it goes back to just this culture ingrained
for sure
with Japan. So like this all is just falling on Shikishima after he ditches the kamikaze thing, after he watches all these people get killed by Godzilla. He's the only one left. And then later in the movie, when he thinks Noriko gets killed, like it happens to him multiple times throughout the movie, where it's like, why am I the one that is surviving all of this? And that all, I love how it all culminates at the end, because he gets to have that moment of like, if he wasn't there, he wouldn't have been able to save everyone situation. So like it all, I think the story and focusing on his character and his journey and like all the trauma that he's been through was really effective to bring this monster movie to the next level.
They did a good job making you care when somebody has to go fight a giant fucking nuclear spitting out giant lizard, So, can we talk about Godzilla? How awesome this version is. Why? And it's weird because it's stiff as fuck, like it's a person in a suit.
Like, it's going back to the original design.
Yeah. He just walks straight, like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I just want to walk that way and fuck shit up. That's all it does. It just kind of walks around.
Like, and I was watching the old Godzilla.
Like he's controlled.
The old Godzilla was after like the nuclear reactors. Mm-hmm. This is the 2016. I call it the old Godzilla. He was after the nuclear reactors because that's where like somebody laid an egg or nest or something like that. But this one, he was just like coming ashore. I'm just gonna fuck stuff up and I'm going back in the ocean. Like, suck it. And he's built with those thick ass legs, and he's just and he just whips his tail around and fucking.
I know. How do you float?
Not to
we don't know.
Not to keep comparing it to the 2016 one, but I think that's what made this movie so much better. I think that one focused too much on the intentions of Godzilla, why he's doing this. This one, he's just a fucking monster wrecking shit. Like, we don't care about
like Jaws.
We don't care about his motivation. Nope. We don't care about any of that shit.
Eating people.
He's just a fucking destroying machine, and we got to figure out how to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
Just make it fun.
Yeah, same with like Alien. Like they're like it's just a fucking monster rampaging.
All the American Godzilla movies, they make he's kind of like an anti-hero where he's like,
yes, exactly.
He's here to protect us, but he also fucking destroyed that hospital right over there. Oops. Like, but he's here to help us. So yeah. But then this one was like, no, he's just straight up like he does not give a fuck.
He's not even bad in this movie. He's just he's like an animal doing what he does. He just fucking destroys shit. He doesn't have any reason that he's doing it.
Nuclear bombs out of his mouth, basically, more or less.
Yeah, and they called it radiated fucking dinosaur.
They kept calling it like the heat beam or something in the subtitles of the movie.
Yeah,
and
I'm like, heat ray. It's like his
something like that.
It's his atomic blast. What that is.
I liked how the scales, like when he was powering up, they'd like
so
chunk,
cool.
chunk, chunk, chunk. They'd come out and like get into position to do the heat blast. Like it was some. I can't believe that all the CG on this only cost that much. And I did see that the director / writer was also the visual effects supervisor on this movie as well. So that could be.
Well,
I mean, it always seems like we talk about this, but like when the director and the writer is the same person and they have the same vision and the dude knows what they want to make, like it usually comes out pretty fucking good. As long as they have the means to make what they're trying to do.
When Godzilla was in the city, just walking through.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why I could feel that destruction. I don't know what it was, but they got me to feel like the way, maybe it's the CG of that team that made this, that it felt like he was plowing through,
dude. Yeah.
This city, and he could just grab stuff. Like when the fucking news reporter is trying to talk through, he's just like, dude, you know this guy's toast. But like how he can just grab a building and just like break it and throw it, you know, or a shit. Just felt like it felt right how he was able to.
Like, him throwing a tennis ball, just like,
yeah, just how powerful. I don't know. It felt grounded enough.
Some of those, like the CG shots they had, where he's like when he's walking through the city and he steps on a street or whatever, and you can see like his foot sink in and like the street shoots up and like you can see the, I don't know, it gives a good
attention to detail, I guess.
Of the destruction that he's causing.
That's a good point. Yeah, because when he stomps on the ground, it's not just like it's just on the ground. It like pushes the rest of the terrain up or down or something like that. Right. Yeah, it's very grounded.
A simple tail whip just like takes out an entire city block. Is just gone.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and again in that city scene, seeing it from the perspective of the people on the ground made it even more effective, because you just see this giant foot come smashing down behind you. You see these people get swallowed up by, the debris and everything. Like it was really effective in conveying like all the destruction that Godzilla was causing.
Yeah, it was a cool one. I'm looking up the director here real quick to see what other stuff that he's done. Not that we would really know any of the other stuff that he's done. I don't know.
Sure. So
he's been making stuff. He's been making stuff since 1987, essentially.
Oh,
he's been putting together movies. So he's not like a new guy on the street or something like that, which is cool to see.
Maybe we can check out some more of his work.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
sorry.
I was gonna say something like that. I forgot.
Brandon's drawing a blank.
Yeah.
So how about that sweet ass Godzilla song?
Yeah, you're really into
that. Like it is a pretty bit, like it's those big, deep, bassy horns, and he's got like that full intro, and then like all of a sudden when it culminates, it just goes wah 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 wah.
Sounds pretty good.
Effective, it's effective too.
How did? So what I wanted to get into was the boat stuff and how that's what it was. I want to talk about capturing Godzilla. And they had somehow they could recreate the sound and all that stuff. We're probably going to get spoiler territory at this point.
It.
But go see the movie. Otherwise, at the end when they're trying to, this is such a weird concept, but I'm for it. I think I like it. Where they want to take these boats and basically wrap shit around him, and then it's going to pull him down into the depths of the deepest part of their sea, and then quickly send them back up. It's kind of, they call that the bends, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bends, right? When you don't have enough time to compress the air bubbles, the air bubbles basically in your blood and all that shit. So that's what they were trying to do to kill this Godzilla, because it was the only way. Why was that the idea? Like, why wasn't it just like blow into bits and then take all those bits and shoot them out of space? They already
exhausted all the. I mean, they brought their heaviest fucking warships to try to take them out, and Godzilla fucking threw them like they were nothing. Like they brought that huge Navy warship with the artillery cannons, and they were giving it all they got, but Godzilla just ripped right through it. Like,
And when they went on land, they had that row of tanks or whatever.
Yeah.
And the tanks were all laying into them.
I think they just exhausted all of their options for their, their heavy weaponry. And you got to think this is right after the war too. So like they're working with what they have, like they don't.
True.
All their resources are depleted at this point, so like they don't have maybe the most heavy machinery, heavy weaponry, and they're, like you said, they're on their own. The U.S. isn't coming. Nobody's coming to help them at this point. They just kind of are left to their own devices. So they got to work with what they have. So their weapons weren't working, so they had to come up with something more creative.
I mean, the mine in the mouth, like that thing going off, that was a cool scene. But I did not know that, like, Godzilla had those kind of regenerative Wolverine powers.
They showed a little bit of that earlier in the movie when he was underwater and shit was exploding around him and he was being melted, but then he's also regrowing right away. Which
it's all the radiation.
At the end, he's still doing it.
Oh yeah,
apparently he's immortal.
Yeah, it's because of the radiation. Like he's like just pure radiation, so he has those regenerative cells.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool effect though. When half his face got blown off and then just starts reforming. Like we're like, oh shit, we did it, and then
he was not happy about that.
Not at all. Yeah,
well, I love how he took out those ships. It was just he would just like come up from underneath again, like Jaws, whatever, and just destroy it that way. Or he would like just walk over to it and just like rip into it and just shred it apart. And then if it's from like far away, he would just like go and shoot his beam at it. And
it's like what I
was like, this Godzilla is just so cool to watch. Like
a 5-year-old playing in the bathtub with like toy boats, essentially, and he's just
right,
and just like, and it's happening for real. But I couldn't really tell that like this movie didn't have the budget or whatnot. Really, there were some parts where the CG was a little iffy, but like I don't know, as long as you're doing cool shit, like I don't really care.
Yeah, I thought it looked great. Yeah, about the whole thing.
The boats were fun. I don't know, they were very effective. It's tough to like because you're just trying to putz around on a little boat, and you got this giant swimming monster that can just come up and do whatever the fuck he wants to you. It's not a very good advantage. Not a very good advantageous battlefield for you.
I do have one very minor gripe with the ending. If we want to get into that at all,
predictable.
Exactly. Like they telegraphed it way too much that Shikishima was just gonna eject right before he flew.
I knew that woman was not dead.
Oh, and one more thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, like they did the thing where Tachibana was like, telling him one more thing, but then they cut away. Like, oh, what was he telling him? I knew exactly what he was saying. Like, because they mentioned it earlier in the movie that they're like, the Japanese didn't even build planes with ejector seats, and I'm like, oh, Tachibana's gonna build an ejector seat into his plane,
right? And it was pretty on the nose,
but even knowing that, I mean, you knew Shikishima was gonna survive, but like the point was like, did he actually want to die and sacrifice himself, or did he want to choose to live? And that was his choice to make,
Right.
Even though
I felt like it was already a good story
coming back. Like it's a good retelling of the kamikaze pilot, his growth as a person.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Unnecessary editing that they did. I feel I'm with you on that, Eric. Like it's more. I think it would have been more effective that he knows it's an option. Tell us.
The audience
There's nothing wrong
knows.
with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's decided I need to die. I need to stay in this thing. For him to choose to live or not, I think would have been more emotional.
Yeah,
it's a great movie. But that's what I was saying, because it's like we saw him shoot out of it before he crashed into Godzilla's mouth anyways.
Exactly.
You see him shoot in the air. And then if you don't notice that, you see him floating. They see the parachute, and then they reveal.
Right.
And I'm like,
they pointed out, like, they were like, oh, look, there he is.
There he is,
like,
right.
They know.
Right. And like
I
already knew like the woman's like she's got to be in a hospital somewhere. I know she didn't die.
I wasn't thinking that. Much, that was sort of
too much effort into a will they won't they with them.
Yeah,
that too. Well, yeah, I was like,
what's his problem, dude? Like, I get your PTSD from the war, but you got a cute little nice Japanese girl. You're raising a family together.
Know,
like,
right.
What the fuck, dude? Like, commit or shit or get off the pot. And then she tells her to go get a job.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Their relationship was weird. I don't know. I sort of liked that. Like, I mean, typical. You know, if you see a man and a woman together, they're gonna, get together, whatever.
In America, with American eyes, with American storytelling, they would have had sex.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
In Japan,
so I
maybe he was so shamed.
Yeah, I appreciated this where it's not like he didn't jump into bed right away with this random woman. He had his own trauma that he was still dealing with, so he wasn't ready to open himself up.
His own war.
He's still fighting his own war. So he wasn't ready to open himself up to to anybody at that point. So I can understand that. And I guess it took him thinking she was dead to finally realize, oh, maybe I can maybe I should take my chances with this girl.
Yeah. Dave would have had some fucking sake that night.
Dude, I love sake.
Baby's asleep.
Sake's so good.
Tell me about yourself. Here, have a glass with me. Keep the shoes on.
Saddle up.
Saddle up.
No. Come on, now.
I was.
This is such a good tune.
I was doing a little bit of research on the ending where they show Noriko in the hospital and then they show her neck with like the weird black shit.
She's mutated. I went back and rewatched it. It looks like she's infected.
So yeah, she's infected
I didn't
with
see that.
Basically with the radiation from the blast. She's infected with Godzilla's cells now.
The G virus.
They call them G cells. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I thought it was like a Resident Evil game. The G virus.
So she's infected with those now, which I like that little teaser at the end. I mean, we get two teasers.
The 50-foot woman's coming.
There is a like an enemy of Godzilla.
That's a little Asian lady?
Biolante or something. But it's a person, like it's a human Godzilla Rose, apparently, hybrid. But they get infected with the G cells and turn into this giant beast. So like they could be telegraphing that. It could just be like, I don't know.
I don't know.
But my guess, I mean, I was thinking like, I thought it was dumb that Noriko survived because like nobody could survive that blast. But it makes sense because she was infected with, Godzilla's cells, so she could regenerate.
She healed.
Exactly.
When did she get the infection?
I guess.
She could. Well, even if
the
she
radiation blast.
Yeah, right. The radiation probably like when she got blasted, it like penetrated her own cells.
Right.
Okay. So at that point, she was penetrated. You like that?
She penetrate her cells.
She was infected. So that's my theory is that's how she survived. And if that happened to her, that probably happened to a lot of other people in that area too.
Yeah.
Right.
So next movie could have some
X-Men going
freaks running around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I like how they set up a sequel.
Cool.
For this,
yeah.
Especially with that stinger at the end. Godzilla's not dead. He's still regenerating. He's gonna come back.
Now,
I that's cool. I caught something on her neck, but I didn't actually go and do the research on that one. That's cool. I didn't know that they set it up like that.
How do you stop an angrier, bigger, stronger Godzilla in the next movie?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Space lasers.
Well, well, normally in the Godzilla movies, I guess it's normally Godzilla fighting the monster, but they usually, like, if another monster comes along, they usually use Godzilla to their advantage to fight off this other monster. So I don't know if, like, they're gonna, who knows? With these mutated humans, maybe they'll somehow be able to create a weapon to defeat Godzilla, something like that,
So,
okay.
And that's
interesting.
I guess with all these movies, I was flipping through some Reddit streams. there's like different Godzillas in different movies. Like there's the legendary Godzilla, which is like the old one, which was on like the black and white TV. But then there's the minus Goji, which resembles Godzilla's original outing in 1954, which I'm guessing it just looks like him, but different versions of Godzilla for different movies, essentially.
Yeah.
The Puff Daddy movie, Godzilla, is different from the minus one.
Right.
Godzilla.
So. It's like a multiverse, because like the Godzilla versus Kong Godzilla is the Godzilla from the 2016 American Godzilla. But this Godzilla in this movie is completely separate from that Godzilla. So it is confusing.
This one is a dick. He just wants to fuck stuff up. He's just
right.
He's just there to smash cities, and he doesn't even eat people. Like, he doesn't eat anyone.
Right.
He just grabs them in his mouth and flings them in the air, and then just
he's constantly chucking shit.
Yep. It's like a toddler just walking around, just messing everything up,
throwing everything around. Yep.
Why is it called Godzilla Minus One? What's the minus one mean?
There is a thing in the I think it's in the trailer. After the war, Japan's economic state has been reduced to zero. Godzilla appears and plunges the country into a negative state. So it's the war ends, they're at their lowest state, they're at zero. The Godzilla shows up, and we're one step below that.
Just kick Japan in the nuts.
That makes
down.
It really is a nut shot. It's tough. I can't imagine. Like, and it is kind of cool how they tie in like the Russian and the US stuff going on the side. So that's why they're by themselves, and they just have to fucking deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
But the US and the Soviets have to, get involved in the next movie
at some point. In the 2016
or China
one,
or somebody.
Doesn't Godzilla go from like Tokyo to San Francisco to somewhere else? I think I remember.
Yeah, he's hopping around.
He's multinational. Mr.
Worldwide over there. Oh,
hey, there you go. The pit bull of Godzillas. Yep. There it is. Nice.
All right, end it there.
That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, we don't have to talk too much longer. Is there anything else you guys want to hit on before we wrap up this conversation on Godzilla?
Let me check the notes here. I did write down the strongest point of this movie is also the weak point, which was the character building. Like, it is what makes the movie so good, but it is also what put me to sleep at a certain point.
Oh, really?
I had to go back and watch it again today.
I'm the opposite, because I was watching this.
Did you watch the subs or dubs?
Of course, I watched the fucking original Japanese audio.
Yes.
Yeah, I tried subs. I can't do rough.
I can't imagine.
I have a strict dubs in anime. Yes, I can watch those. Dubs in live action, I can't get past it. I gotta watch the original audio.
It never, when the mouth doesn't match up,
the acting is just not as good.
No,
they're standing there at a booth. The guy in the movie's like flopping around. It's like you just can't
convey that. No.
Yeah,
No. I thought all the performances were awesome. Like, everyone did a fantastic job. Nothing took me out of it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I was watching this movie late at night, and like I thought I was gonna fall asleep, but I was so invested in what was going on that I watched straight through, and then I was even doing like research after. Like, this movie.
Oh, really?
Definitely hooked me. Yeah. So
sweet.
I just like, there's just all these cool set pieces, like the minesweeping part, and he's just like going on this wooden boat, and they're like the cast of characters that he's with, and like there's a lot of characters in this movie, and you got the guy with the crazy Mozart hair or whatever. That's
the scientist
guy or whatever. Yeah, he was great. They
all had their archetypes too. They were all distinct characters. Yeah, you had the doc, the fucking like grizzled veteran, and then the young kid.
The kid. Yep.
You knew he was coming back when they told him.
Of course, he had
how is he coming back?
Yeah,
so like fucking Rise of Skywalker. Like,
I was thinking, Dave, we'll all fight them together.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of
everybody's doing that.
Speaking of Star Wars, I had another comparison to Star Wars, which one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Was the ending. The ending scene where Shikishima flew into Godzilla's mouth. That was cool. But like, I'm a sucker for when they cut out the audio in the dramatic moments and like the climax. The Last Jedi. I thought of The Last Jedi when, you know, Holdo did the hyperspace through the dreadnought, and I was like, I bet in the theaters that moment was fucking amazing. I'm such a sucker for when they
hear somebody munching their popcorn.
Yeah, right.
Sucking out of a straw.
But like,
what happened to the audio?
Because when they do that, it makes you like hold your breath almost because you're waiting to see what happens. So like,
well, we all knew it's an effective, was going to happen though.
It's like, just an effective technique. I like that a lot.
We know he's going to come out of nowhere and pop into his.
They should have had him crash. He dies. He saves the day, and as the music comes back, it shows that guy showing him his ability to eject, and he never used it.
Wah, 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 wah. Wah,
wah, wah, wah.
Or he gets eaten by Godzilla, and then he turns into
just
Godzilla.
He bursts. Watching this movie made me. Have you guys played the new version of Rampage at Dave and Buster's?
I think I saw it when I walked by, but I never played it.
I love Rampage as a kid.
Those games, you know, climb and smash buildings and punch them down. I don't know. I got a good Rampage vibe out of this. Like it was, you know, it was a fun change of pace. Like, you know, that's not exactly what I expected, but it was still pretty awesome. So
they're definitely going to introduce some other monster in this because. Man, Godzilla has such a cast of other monsters that he fights throughout his history. So like, they're already with the G cells and everything. They're already sort of setting it up for another monster to emerge that's even more dangerous than Godzilla, and Godzilla's gonna have to fight him, and it's
gonna mount up with the G unit.
I would say that kids could watch this movie. Like kids could watch it. There's no swearing. There's no like body parts. There are some scary moments, like when Godzilla reveals itself in the beginning.
It's like as bad as Jurassic Park. Someone gets bit.
Basically.
The dude gets bit in Jurassic Park and thrown. Like it's the same thing.
And even if it's sad, and you think like, oh, how sad is this? Like, it doesn't end on a happier note, actually. So
that would be the thing I'd be most cautious about for kids is like the emotional stuff, not so much the scary stuff, more the
right. But hey,
stuff.
But that's World War II really happened, and this movie owns it.
Yeah,
it's just like, hey, this is the reality. Yeah. So, all right. Well, it was really cool going to Japan and watching this movie on Netflix in my house.
Yeah, right.
But I had a great. I want to see it again. Actually, I want to watch it with my kids. I wasn't sure if they could watch it, so I watched it by myself.
The boring parts. They don't care.
This time, they probably just want to see.
They just want to see dinosaurs ruin cities.
Oh, so awesome, so awesome. When he was like flying around the airplane, he has to swing around. It's just the way he turned, and I don't know. Well done. I can see why. I think it won a fucking Oscar for the effects.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I know it was at least nominated. I don't know if it won, but it was definitely nominated for a couple of them.
610 of the film's visual effect shots were handled by a crew of 35 artists. Like that is
wow.
Yeah.
35 guys put that together.
Wow.
I don't see accolades. Won Best Visual Effects at the 96 Academy Awards.
There you go.
There you go.
Deservedly so.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's think we defeated Godzilla for now.
Don't worry.
Get back in our ship, head back home, and hug our women and kids. Let's go into a break, and when we come back, I have a quick game. I think it'll be fun.
Sweet.
Yep.
Wah, 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 wah.
We are back to talk about Godzilla. No, just kidding. We already did that. We are going messing with you.
Start it over.
We're gonna play a little game. And we can go about this in two different ways. Oh. You guys can either work together or go against each other. What would you want to do?
I think we always have better chances.
Yeah, let's work together. I like working together. It's always
working
fun.
together. Okay,
work
Dave,
together like the Japanese taking down Godzilla.
Exactly.
That's perfect. All right, you're like the two ships at the end of Godzilla, where you're going to work together to take Godzilla down. Perfect. Okay. Well, this is going to be a game of 5 and 10 Godzilla edition.
Oh, 5 and 10.
So don't worry too much about the Godzilla part, but you'll see. Yeah, this is an old one, but basically you guys are going to take turns, and you have 10 seconds to name me up to 5 things. Okay?
Oh, this game is brutal.
All I'm looking for is I want you to get more than 10 points, and you guys win, and you survive.
So I go, and then Dave, we're not both shooting at the same time?
5, 10, 15, 20, a max of 20 points.
Okay.
You can get up to 5 in each of the things I'm going to give you.
All right.
All right?
Can I...
So, and then somebody just...
So there's no helping, even if I know something and Dave's struggling?
No, because he's got 10 seconds. And now I was thinking about could you go at the same time, but you're gonna no, I don't want any of that. So you each take turns.
All right.
It's on the other person, and I'm hoping that out of the 20, you are over 10. So 11 to 20, I'm looking for you to win.
All right.
To get right. Okay.
If you say
I will count down 10 seconds, and you have to name off up to 5. All right, so who's going to go first?
I'll go first.
Yes, please.
All right.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay. In 10 seconds, name me, and as soon as I say this, you go. All right, because I'll say go at the end. I'm going to say go at the end. Okay? Name me 5 non-human movie monsters that aren't Godzilla. Go.
Alien, Predator, Jaws, Dracula, and...
That's human.
Dracula's not human. Wolfman, fucking... No. Oh, you're fucking me up.
Sorry,
Damn
I
it.
said non-human. Those are based on humans.
Oh,
but you had
they
a
are
couple good
based
ones
on
in there.
humans.
Frankenstein, I believe. That's human.
Frankenstein's not human.
He's human. He's a fucking zombie.
He is not a human. Zombie. Oh.
He's made of pieces of human.
I said non-human. I would have taken Chucky though.
Frankenstein. Well, that was after the clock, anyways. But I think Frankenstein should count.
Well, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
No. All right. So you said
it's so stressful.
Jaws, Alien, Predator.
I think Jaws, Alien, Predator was all I got because you dinged me for Dracula and Wolfman.
Yeah,
so, yeah, I only got 3.
That's why I said non-human.
I only got 3.
It has to be something that has nothing to do with the human body.
You always think no. I'm thinking of more after the fact. Yeah.
Oh, well. Who do you have now?
I was thinking like the Thing, like the monster.
Oh, the Thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, could have been
Terminator.
These are still humanoid kind of monsters.
Well, you didn't say humanoid. You said human. You said human.
I said non-human.
Like the.
All right.
Is that birds?
Either way.
The fog.
Eric got 3.
All right, I'll take 3. I'll take 3.
All right, David.
Oh God.
As soon as I say go, you have to go. All right, ready? 10 seconds to name me 5 movies that take place in World War II. Go.
Saving Private Ryan. Inglourious Bastards. World War II. I don't know. I'm lost.
That's 2. That's all right.
Let's Saving Private Ryan.
2. Yeah.
What else were there? Come
on. Oh boy. Dunkirk.
I was gonna say it's harder than it looks.
Fury Road.
Oh yeah, Fury Road. I forgot.
Fury.
The Brad Pitt one. Fury. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had the tank one. Yeah.
Yep. That's all
I'm sure there's so many.
We only got
but
4.
Yeah. There's got to be so
5 total
many
so far. All right. So
we're on pace for 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
As long as I don't fuck it up.
Oh my God.
I don't mess it up.
Right. All right. All right, Eric, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. In 10 seconds, name me 5 locations in Japan. Go.
Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Tokyo, I don't know. That's like all I got. I don't know
maybe
many
Mount
Japanese
Fuji,
cities.
maybe or something like that in there. But yeah, I was like the same one.
Cities,
I think I had the same ones in my head. I was like, well, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, because we bombed them, so I know those. You know, that's a horrible history. How do you not know those? And then Tokyo, and then there's like downtown. Is there a new Japan or Japan City?
Right. I know there's other ones, but yeah.
There's always the place Giant Bomb's talking about in Tokyo that's got all the video games. I forget what that is, but there's a section of Tokyo. But I don't know.
I was just thinking Eric might know because he does like anime, and
I should know more.
Where'd the reactor go? Where'd the reactor melt down a couple years ago?
Oh, Miku? I don't know. Well, anyways, so it is tough. All right, Eric. So you had 3 there, though, at least, right?
I did.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and Tokyo. Okay.
Yeah, Kyoto, Osaka. Yeah,
Kyoto.
Okay.
Kyoto. Yeah.
Osaka. Yeah. Jesus.
Osaka.
Okinawa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Should have known.
All right.
I feel like a dumbass. 10 seconds is not long enough. It's tough. That's what makes it. It's too much pressure.
It's like you know all the ones on the top off your top of your head, and then it's like nothing else.
Yeah. I was chuckling to myself when I was putting this together. I'm like, they're gonna say the same shit I would say. All right, so that is 3 plus 2 plus 3, right?
Yeah,
so 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay, so Dave,
you got it.
You get 3, and you got to get what?
Dave, I'm saying, Dave, it's all up to you.
Oh. So
you got this.
Name me Lord of the Rings characters.
No, it's Godzilla edition. So I hope you're seeing the theme here. Dave, all right, and I want official names. I want real names of whatever it is. Okay, like don't just give me something generic. But you'll all right, ready? Name me in 10 seconds. 5 lizards.
Komodo dragon, chameleon, salamander.
Salamander's the lizard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Axolotl. Another lizard here. Snake.
All right, you're good. You won.
Yes.
I don't know if you're gonna have a brain fart, but I thought that would be fun to give Dave the lizard one.
No, my kid has been watching Snake Discovery on YouTube, so I've been seeing a lot of
lizards on the brain.
Lizards in the household lately.
There you go. What qualifies? I'm curious. What
I'm looking up right now because I might have to take away some. I don't know if a snake or you got enough because you did name some.
An axolotl might.
Komodo dragon, of course.
Yeah.
You said salamander. I don't know if snakes are not lizards.
No, snake's not a lizard, but
yeah.
I think
axolotl is, though. I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our
salamander's a lizard.
Salamanders,
definitely.
A group of amphibians, typically characterized by their lizard-like appearance.
So lizards are reptiles.
Yeah, lizards are reptiles.
But snakes are good, along with turtles, snakes. Turtles are lizards.
No, turtles not a lizard. Turtles are an amphibian.
And yes, I don't know. I'm looking at Google, and it's saying salamanders are amphibians.
You're probably looking at the AI fucking answer. They don't know what the
I know. AI is so bad, dude.
It's a give and take. It's a mixed bag.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Lizards are.
We get to go to.
Lizards are. This is from Britannica.com.
Yeah, all right, let's hear it.
Lizards are scaly skinned reptiles that are usually distinguished from snakes by the possession of legs, movable eyelids, and external ear openings.
I think a salamander is, but then a snake isn't.
Yeah, snake is not a lizard. So I think all the other ones were good.
But is an amphibian a lizard?
No, snakes are lizards are reptiles.
Right. So Dave, did you qualify? Did you get at least 3 right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got at least 3. I got 5 total. I think salamanders and snakes don't count.
Is a salamander not a reptile? Oh, it is an amphibian. Okay,
It's
so
a
you got
reptile,
3.
but I said not reptile. I said I want lizards.
Okay, so he got 3.
Yeah, he got 3. Okay, so you just made it.
We're
All
going
right,
to
there you go.
snake
All right,
camp.
we got through it, everybody. Godzilla is dead. He is.
We got him.
Somehow
Just
killed off.
barely.
Just
Especially
barely.
like,
Yep.
same as in the movie. We just got him at the last second.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, take us home. Get us out of these scary waters.
All right.
Before Godzilla comes back to life.
Well, if you want to follow us, what we're doing, what we're up to, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Nomads of Fantasy. You can follow us at the Nomads of Fantasy on TikTok. You can join our Discord at thenomadsoffantasy.com/Discord. Gonna chat with us in there. It's always fun. We're talking about video games, movies, all that fun stuff. You can suggest, stuff that you want us to cover. That's always fun too. And that suggestions channel, which we should, our calendar's, looking a little light, so maybe we could hit up some of those suggestions channel soon. But, I think that's about it. Oh, what map game? Always, of course. Gotta mention that. And if you want to watch the video version, youtube.com/@nomadsoffantasy, twitch.tv/nomadsoffantasy. If you want to watch live, just say all the things.
Do it.
Do it. Until next time, safe travels, nomads.
Bob.
You
gotta listen to that song, Brandon. It's so good. At least just one end-to-end listen.